Raw Selvedge denim jeans and raw denim in general are one of the few garments in menswear that react to your lifestyle, that react to the way that you care for them, that react to your environment, that shape themselves over time. They fade, they mold, they break in, they get better and better. But the thing is, raw Selvedge denim is a very complicated and intricate facet of menswear that requires a lot of beforehand knowledge, especially if this is your first foray into the journey of raw Selvedge denim. And while this is a luxury piece of clothing that can last you virtually decades and decades, sometimes even half a century like we've seen before from old vintage Levi's. But while these do have that long-lasting, durable quality, there are quite a few different ways that you can mess them up if you don't really know what you're doing, or you could just end up getting yourself the wrong pair of raw Selvedge denim jeans. And recently I've been getting a lot of questions on TikTok and a lot of questions on YouTube on what you should not do when getting your first pair of raw denim jeans, or even just applying knowledge to an already existing wardrobe that encompasses raw denim. And I kind of wanted to talk about my takeaways when it came to the raw Selvedge denim journey, and mistakes that I have made personally, things that have ruined my own jeans or made them unwearable. Because at the end of the day, raw Selvedge denim can be expensive. It is a pricey hobby to get into. It's a lot of fun, but there is a lot of cost that comes to it. And me personally, I just want to avoid having people spend more unnecessary funds than they have to, which is why today's video is dedicated to the 5 things you should never ever do when it comes to getting raw Selvedge denim. Starting off with number 1, this one's actually been contested on Reddit and on my TikTok a couple of times, but I, in my experience, have not really had good results when trying to spot clean raw denim. And this is definitely something I have done before and completely fumbled the jean. Spot cleaning raw denim is a highly risky move, and on most jeans, more often than not, you're actually going to end up with some really weird fade marks because of where you spot clean. Essentially, what you are doing is you are concentrating a degree of abrasion on one little spot on the jean, and you're kind of fading it artificially and unintentionally, because what you're doing is in that spot where you are using the water, where you are using the detergent, you're actually making it easier for the jean to fade in that one particular area because you are exposing it to abrasion. You're chipping off the indigo. You're also kind of messing with the color a little bit depending on what detergent you use. And ultimately, this kind of kills the jean for me a lot of times. I've had a couple of pairs of jeans where I had spot cleaned before, and because of the nature of where the spot usually is and how dark raw Selvedge denim can be, it's very noticeable. It doesn't look flattering at all. It looks really weird, especially if it's like by the crotch area or something like that. It's just a very unfavorable look, and I've made this mistake quite a few times on 2 or 3 different pairs of jeans. And don't get me wrong, I still wear them, but they end up being just whatever jeans at that point, because I personally really don't like the way that they look. When they have such spotty fades, it really just kills the look for me. With that being said, if you get a little something on the jean, I recommend that all you gotta really do is give the jean a short 15-minute wash with a little detergent in super cold water, turn it inside out, and just don't leave the jean in there for too long. You don't have to put it in for 45 minutes. You don't have to put it in for an hour. Your jeans are still going to be dark. You're not going to ruin the fading capability. Yes, they are still going to fade after you wash them. I wouldn't even consider it like a wash. I would probably barely consider it a soak, really. And then you just make sure that you line dry it, but that's really the best way to get rid of these stains without making the jean fade in just one place. So yeah, guys, be careful of spot cleaning your denim. I know some people say it works for them. I think it's a very risky move, and I've done it a couple of times, and it has not worked for me at all. Next up, speaking of washing raw denim, one thing you never ever want to do, and this goes for everybody, is you never ever want to leave your raw denim in the washing machine for too long after you wash it. I know some people who will do their laundry, they'll put it to wash, they'll go out, they'll get a cup of coffee, and then they'll come back and like 30 minutes have passed since the washing machine cycle has ended. I would never ever do that with a pair of raw denim jeans, and I'll tell you exactly why. The thing with the raw denim jean is that when it is wet, it is more susceptible to fading than ever, and it is also susceptible to heavily permanent creasing as well as stretching. And depending on how the jean is washed, sometimes it could twist around itself, sometimes it could stretch in weird places. But primarily what you want to avoid is getting these super ugly vertical fade lines that you often get in the washing machine because the raw denim is thrown around, it's balled up, it's taking on all types of weird forms and shapes in the laundry machine. And what will happen is if you leave the jean bundled up like that after the wash for too long, it's gonna start to dry that way, it's gonna start to solidify, and all of the excess starch, which also activates with water when you're washing the jean, it's gonna get really crunchy that way, and you're gonna be left with this really unfavorable fade line that, again, for a lot of people can ruin the raw denim jean. It can ruin the look, it could look really weird. And I mean, come on guys, you really shouldn't be leaving your laundry in the laundry machine for that long. And that to me goes for any type of clothing, especially if you're buying pretty pricey clothing such as raw denim. Raw Selvedge denim is one of those things that's just like a car. The more you take care of it, the better you treat it, the longer it's gonna last and the better it's gonna be over time. So just make sure when you're finally doing that raw denim wash, which chances are is probably a year or so after you've bought the denim and have been wearing it for so long, you don't want to ruin your beautiful pair of raw denim jeans that captures so many memories by leaving it in the washing machine for too long after you wash it with a bunch of vertical fade lines that just don't look good. Just make sure you time it right, so this way as soon as the washing machine is done, you could pull it out, you could straighten it out, you could stretch it, and you're good to go. Number 3 on the list of things you should never ever do when it comes to owning raw denim is you should never not wash your jeans. And I know that that sounds crazy, but I hear this a lot even still, that there are some people who swear by not washing their raw denim jeans, and this used to be a huge thing when raw denim first came back into the mainstream. I'd say like 2012, 2013 or so, when people really started to get back into raw Selvedge denim, when Nudie Jeans started putting out all of these marketing materials on what dry denim or raw Selvedge denim was. People swore that not washing their jeans was the best way to go about it, and that to me is quite honestly insane, because me being someone who works with textiles every day, being in the industry of manufacturing clothes, that's just wild. One of the worst things that you could do is never ever wash anything made of cotton. Cotton is one of the most susceptible fibers to dirt, grime, and sweat that you could ever find, because without wash, without water, I mean, the cotton yarn really starts to kind of pull itself apart. And essentially what will happen is you're actually degrading the quality of your jeans. And what you're gonna start to get is you're gonna start to get pulls, you're gonna start to get the fabric kind of tearing apart, you're gonna start to see the seams really starting to deteriorate over time. I mean, this is terrible. You cannot avoid washing your raw denim if you want it to last. I mean, think about it, guys. We're still finding Levi's from the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s. And when these people were wearing their jeans, when they first had them, they were washing them every few wears or so. I mean, this was a frequent thing. They would wash them pretty regularly, which is why they had such beautiful vintage fades, but also why these jeans have lasted as long as they have to now. And I am a big advocate for washing raw denim pretty frequently. I mean, I'm not saying wash it every wear. I'm not saying wash it every month. I mean, me myself, what I usually do with my raw denim is I'll wash it every 3 months or so after the first wash, which I usually do at about 6 to 8 months. And you still will get some pretty nice fades. I mean, granted, they might not be super high contrast fades, and if you want a pair of jeans like that, then sure, go ahead and do that, but you could still achieve that by washing after a year or so. But for someone to not ever wash their jeans ever, that's pretty insane, because your jeans are not going to last at all. And then it's like, what's the point of having such a beautiful pair of jeans if they're not gonna last? The point of having raw denim jeans is to have them for a long time, is to have them fade. And I also make the argument that if you have your jeans for a longer time, don't you think they're gonna fade better than a pair of jeans that you have for such a short amount of time but you never wash them? I mean, logically speaking, to me, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, guys, just make sure you wash your jeans, please. Now, the number 4 thing that you never ever want to do when it comes to raw Selvedge denim is you never want to buy a pair of jeans without knowing your sizes. What do I mean by that? Oftentimes, when it comes to raw Selvedge denim jeans, most of the sizes are not vanity sized. So when it comes to buying pants or jeans in America, oftentimes the size that is shown on the tag is actually 2 to 3 inches, sometimes even 4 inches bigger than what is labeled on the tag. And this is called vanity sizing. So for example, 31s usually end at a 33, sometimes 33 and a half, which is what I wear. 32s will usually be 34s. 34s will usually be 36s and 37s, and this is super common. And this is what throws a lot of people off in the beginning, is that they don't really understand vanity sizing. So what you want to do is when you're buying a pair of raw Selvedge denim jeans, you want to make sure that you go to the description of the jeans, to the size chart, and you want to see if these jeans are vanity sized or not. So essentially the easiest way to tell is if the tag size is exactly the same as the waist size. That means that those jeans are not vanity sized, they are skin sized. And essentially that's what throws a lot of people off, because if you end up purchasing a skin sized garment at your vanity size, they're just going to be so tight that you will not be able to wear them. They are not going to stretch out 2 inches. Raw denim jeans maybe stretch out a ½ inch, if that, at the waist, but not more than that really. And this creates a lot of problems. And Naked and Famous, which is a brand that I love near and dear to my heart, they often talk about how to avoid this mistake on their channel, and they have some great videos on it. I'll put them somewhere on the screen. But yeah, guys, it's super important to understand the difference between skin sizing and vanity sizing. And this is why I always recommend that you measure your own garments. Make sure you know what your measurements are. And if you really don't know how to do it, or you don't want to do it, either have a professional at a dry cleaner maybe do it for you, or if you can find a pair of pants that you bought that works for you and go on the internet, find that size chart for that exact same garment, and then rip those measurements, you should be pretty good to go from there. You could compare and contrast both those sizes, and it'll help you figure out the right size for you. So yeah, guys, just make sure that you know your sizes. All right, guys, now for the last thing that you want to avoid when it comes to raw Selvedge denim is you want to avoid owning too many pairs of raw denim jeans. And I know that that sounds crazy, but I can definitively tell you that me, myself, as a men's fashion creator that is concentrated in the raw Selvedge denim category, I have way more raw denim jeans than I really need, which is why I give a lot of pairs away to my friends or my family, because I end up getting stuck with all of these raw denim jeans that I want to wear, and I just never end up wearing them because I have so many others that are making it through the rotation. And I mean, sure, having a rotation of raw denim jeans is good, it's recommended, but I wouldn't have more than like 2 or 3 pairs of raw denim jeans. I mean, unless you're really a collector like myself, where you like to have historical pieces like the sugarcane World War II jeans or the Studio the Artisan SD01s. I mean, jeans that have real cultural significance, you don't really need more than 2 or 3. And essentially what ends up happening is when you have too many pairs of raw denim jeans, because you're wearing them once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, I mean, on my end, sometimes I wear them once a month, and it just kind of gets crazy, because it's like, what's the point in having raw Selvedge denim if it's not gonna fade, if it's not gonna get worn? And this again is why I give away so many pairs of raw denim jeans, because I'll buy them because I like them, but then I don't end up wearing them, and it's just, it becomes wasteful, and it becomes just kind of silly. It takes space in my wardrobe, and I don't have a lot of space. And at the end of the day, I love raw denim so much that I want as many people to experience it as possible, which is why I usually give it to people who would not otherwise go out and buy it on their own because it's expensive, or someone who I know is gonna really appreciate it and wear it into the ground. This is why I have started really kind of cleaning out my raw denim closet, and why oftentimes in my videos people will ask me about a certain pair of jeans, and I'll tell them honestly I gave it away. You know, I don't want to contribute to waste. I mean, raw denim jeans can be a little bit wasteful and environmentally impactful, oftentimes in a negative way if done incorrectly or bought from certain brands. And while I might not 100% be educated in sustainability, I know one thing is a fact, that I don't want to buy a pair of jeans that's just going to sit in my closet that I'm never going to wear. I'd rather give it to someone so they don't have to buy more than what they already have, more than what they need. They can wear these jeans into the ground and just enjoy what it is to have a luxury pair of raw denim jeans made. But yeah, guys, after that whole monologue, long story short, just don't own more raw denim jeans than you really need. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this helped you guys avoid making a lot of the mistakes that I have made when it comes to raw Selvedge denim, because a lot of these mistakes can be very costly, especially when you get a pair of jeans that, let's say, doesn't fit because you bought the wrong size, or a pair of jeans that you ruined because it stretched weirdly in the washing machine. I mean, me myself as a creator, I really just want to make sure that I make it as easy as possible for you to get your own pair of raw Selvedge denim jeans with as minimal cost as possible and with as minimal minimal difficulty as possible as well. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for the love and support. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you everybody that came from TikTok. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope you love the long form content. And for those who haven't seen my TikTok yet, definitely make sure to check that out too. I drop a video every day on TikTok. And let me know if there's any other ideas or any other topics when it comes to raw selvage denim that you want me to tackle. And I will definitely make sure that I get to as many of them as possible. I love doing these raw denim videos for you guys. I'm sorry this video is a little off. I've been feeling sick all day, but I didn't want to miss a week. I have not missed a week of dropping long form in over 2 years now. And I just wanted to make sure that I got y'all the video. So please bear with me and forgive me on this one. I know it's a little shaky, it's a little weird, but I love and appreciate y'all. And with that being said, thank you guys again, and I'll see you next week.